So I present the SmartCow project, which is an infrastructure project. This project has started beginning of February 2018. It's a 4-year project and it will end at the end of January 2022. The concept and objectives of the project. The background of the project is that there is a need for a better coordination of research infrastructure in the cattle sector, but I think also for other livestock sector, to develop more efficient approaches to address all the challenges we discussed until this morning, environmental, societal, and economical challenges. To our knowledge, SmartCow is the first step towards the integration of research infrastructure for European cattle sector. And an infrastructure project develops 3 types of activities. Networking activities, in our case, it's mapping the research infrastructure on cattle in Europe, adopting common language, adopting the best standardized measurement techniques, improving data sharing, but also involvement of stakeholder training activities. We have also a joint research activity to improve the gold standard method in the field of nutrition, physiology, and behavior. And we also develop activities to develop proxies to phenotype new and more complex animal traits. And one activity which is very specific to infrastructure project is giving transnational access. So it's providing researchers from academic and private sector an easy access to high quality services and resources in the infrastructure. On this map, you can see the consortium and the different infrastructure that are in the consortium. So it represents 12 locations, which includes 18 installations and a potential of 2,500 dairy and 750 beef cows that can be used for experimental purpose. Part of the animal at genotype and possible link can be made with gene banks. Other partners bring specific skills for cloud-based data platform development, for NIR, MIR techniques, for dissemination and stakeholders, and for project management. The consortium has a large range of measurement capabilities in nutrition, physiology, and behavior. And in particular, I want with this slide highlight the excellent expertise in animal methane methodology. 6 research infrastructures of the consortium have enclosed chambers. 7 research infrastructure have the capability to use the SF6 techniques, which is useful when you want to estimate methane outdoor. And 8 research infrastructure have a green feed technology. I want also to mention that there are also some facilities adapted to study adaptation, and in particular the temperature controllable room for study heat rate at FBN Leibniz in Germany. So the project is ongoing, so we have not final results to present, but on this slide I summarize some of the expected outcomes from networking and research activities that are related to climate issues. We are writing a book of methods in cattle physiology and behavior. Of course, there will be a chapter on methane emission in this book. There will be also a chapter on nitrogen emission and nitrogen balance. We are working on refining the measurement method on nutrient efficiency and emissions, in particular reducing uncertainty in methane emission measurements through historical database analysis for the different methodological source of variation. And we are performing a ring test for gas recovery of our chambers. A similar approach is used also on nitrogen utilization. We are developing proxies or biomarkers to predict nutrition efficiency, their determinants and emissions. In particular, we have an activity working on MIR and NMR in milk and NIR in feces to predict methane emissions. And we also work on developing a multivariate approach based on sensor data from precision livestock techniques to phenotype behavioral health and feed efficiency traits based on this type of techniques. And the red line of all this activity is to improve the phenotyping capabilities in the infrastructure, but also to implement the 3R principles, so reduce, refine, replace animal measurement when it's possible. I want just to highlight on transnational access It's a specific activity of infrastructure project. The budget we have can fund around 30 experiments proposed by industry or academic stakeholders. The project funds animal facility costs, such as animal care, monitoring, sampling, and sample preparation, but not the other costs. We define a very large research priorities, including fish efficiency, health, and other topics. And in these research priorities, we have some topics concerning mitigation options to reduce greenhouse gases and other emissions, and a topic on efficient and robust animals adaptation to climate change. Last year, we had the first call. We accepted, after an evaluation process, 10 projects, 5 coming from the industry sector, 5 coming from academic institutions and from 7 countries. And among these 10 projects, 1 is on reducing methane emission using plant extracts, but we have 4 or 5 projects on nitrogen efficiency. The second call is currently under evaluation. We receive 16 full proposals, and in particular with 2 proposals on heat stress adaptation and 2 proposals on reducing methane emissions. And the third call, will be published next year. So after this first 18 months of the project, what are the main lessons we can summarize? We noticed a high interest of academic and private stakeholders to access to the best research infrastructure through transnational access procedure. This is interesting to foster innovation and to reinforce academic industry partnership. We started this year the training courses in the project, and we noticed a high interest of young researchers, PhD, postdocs, on new methods and techniques that are developed in research infrastructure, in particular techniques related to climate mitigation and climate adaptation. We developed new collaboration outside the consortium with a global research alliance, the Feed and Nutrition Network, and with other research organizations to strengthen the research activity through the building of large databases on different animal traits. We also recorded expression of many interests from organizations and countries outside the consortium that is encouraging us for a future advanced community infrastructure project. Some recommendations that I can make at this stage of the project: the challenge of climate mitigation and adaptation needs phenotyping of complex animal traits, and this has an important implication, is that we need to strengthen our recording capacity of phenotypes using reference methods in research infrastructure. It needs also to develop the promising approaches based on biomarkers and sensor data. This challenge of climate mitigation needs also multi-site and long-term studies, and this also can be faced by large and networking research infrastructure for developing this type of studies. And finally, I would stress the fact that moving toward effective solution in the real life need probably to combine studies that can be conducted in research infrastructure with on-farm studies, and this has to be also discussed with a stakeholder engagement. Thank you.